Welcome to the South Cobb Business Association podcast. Thank you for streaming today. We want to give special thanks to Word of Faith and Riverside Epicenter for providing a wonderful podcast studio to bring this interview to you today. And we have a special guest who it just makes sense that he is the first guest of the South Cobb Business Association podcast. He's the 2023 president of South Cobb Business Association. He's the general manager of Riverside Epicenter, as well as a pastor on staff at Word of Faith. Please welcome Dr. Chris Boyd. Thank you so much for being a part of this podcast today.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Good to see you.
You've done so many wonderful things this year, getting South Cobb Business Association back on its feet and going forward post-pandemic. What is one of the things that you're most proud of your accomplishments during this time?
Well, that's a great question. You know, the biggest thing for us this year was really just getting back to a place of normal. Right. So many things were different during the pandemic. And, even as an association, we couldn't engage the way that we typically did. I've been part of the South Cobb Business Association since I could think about 2013. Yeah. And in fact, right before we opened Riverside Epicenter, and we engaged there so that we could get to know the business community. And there were so many things that were part of the normal cadence of how we did things as an association that we just weren't able to do for so long. And so really getting back to the monthly meetings, right, having a good, strong board, really engaging in a way that really has impactful content to our members, that was really the main focus that we had. And I'd like to think that we have done that well. Certainly there's more engagement that we'd like to do. But we've had some very, very, very engaging speakers that have been able to provide great content, substantive content to our members. And so I'd like to think that that's probably the greatest thing that we've been able to do, again, is get back to a sense of normalcy. But we're excited about what 2024 has to offer as well. So
awesome. Well, what advice would you give to the business community of South Cobb? What would you advise them to do during this time?
Well, the thing that we've really worked to do better as an organization, Riverside Epicenter, is to tell our story better. And I think for every business, it's really being able to get your name out into the marketplace so that people can understand what product and service you have to offer and how you can support them. The purpose of a business is to meet a need. And so being able to figure out how to do that well is important. As an association, one of the main functions that we have the opportunity to do is to create a network. So helping businesses to identify others who can benefit from their products and services, but to just know each other, right? We're excited about being able to do that at a higher level. And so the advice I would give to businesses is just to be engaged, to be involved, to really work to understand who your marketplace is, but also who the partners are that you can come alongside that can help you do what you do better. Partnership is the answer to a lot of the ills that we feel in our society. Finding people who you can be in relationship with, who can help magnify and elevate your message. That's what businesses can do well. Certainly here at Riverside Epicenter and at Word of Faith. I mean, figuring out who we can partner with and come alongside to help us to magnify our efforts. I mean, that's the thing that ultimately helps you go further. So providing that voice, that network, that point of collaboration as an organization helps us to, it helps all boats to float. Yeah. So, we're excited about doing that more, and certainly that's the advice I would give to businesses.
Awesome. What would you say is the biggest opportunity for businesses in South Cobb?
The biggest opportunity, again, I think, we have a unique opportunity here in South Cobb. We like to think of ourselves as the gateway to Atlanta. Certainly for us, we're here at Riverside Epicenter. We are right along I-20, right here in this southern corridor where it's like the tourism destination of South Cobb. And we have a great opportunity to elevate our voice in a way that really, truly connects with the Atlanta marketplace. And so being able to do that better, again, it gets back to what I just said, telling your story, but figuring out who the marketplace partners are, who you can tell your story to, that can elevate that voice so that you can be of greater service, not only here in South Cobb, but beyond into the metro Atlanta area. I mean, that is the great opportunity that we have. And so, again, we are the great western gateway into Atlanta. I mean, which is a great place to be. The Atlanta Regional Commission did a study back in 2012 that said there are over 140,000 cars every day that drive from as far as Alabama into downtown Atlanta, passing right through South Cobb.
Wow.
So we have truly a chance to capture market share. In a way that a lot of different communities don't. I mean, even in Cobb County, right?
Right.
So much of development has happened in Cobb on the north side.
Right.
But here in South Cobb, we truly have a chance to capture market share. Again, we're right adjacent to Douglas County, right adjacent to Fulton County. So in this southern corridor of Cobb, but they're passing right through our doors, right?
Yeah.
So between here at Riverside Epicenter and Six Flags right next door to us, and then all the other businesses north of us, that are considered South Cobb, up to where you are located, right up by the East-West Connector.
Right.
I mean, we truly have a chance to capture market share in a great way. So it's really about getting our name out into the marketplace so that people can truly know who we are. Networking is a big part of that, right? But it's not just a local network, right? It's a regional network,
Right.
and casting that net wide. When we do that, ultimately, we're able to be a better service to the different entities that can benefit from our work.
Awesome. Anything else you would like to add to share with our listeners?
Well, I'm grateful to have had the privilege of serving as the president of South Cobb Business Association for this year, and I'm happy for 2024 we'll be passing the mantle off to Pastor Butler here, and I'm excited about our opportunity to make impact well beyond just the membership meetings. There are a variety of different committees and things that we do that we've done historically as an organization that make greater impact, right? So we've been able, I think, this year to be able to go wide as an organization. What I'm excited about is the opportunity to go deep,
Yes.
right? To really, truly get to the heart of making a difference. I know we're going to talk to Dr. Block in just a bit, but I was very pleased with the way we celebrated our public safety officials in Cobb
Right.
just recently. Yeah. And that's an example of going deep in a way that helps us to make a difference in something and for something that matters.
Right.
And so as a business community, we have that as a responsibility.
Right.
And I know there's some things for 2024 that I'm really looking forward to do something very similar, even with educators, right?
Right, yes.
To be able to go deep. And I think even, maybe with medical professionals. I mean,
Yes.
there might be some opportunity for us to do that because, again, as a business community, we are an organization of families in a lot of ways, right, who come from the community.
Right.
And so when we are a service to the different services that are part of the community, again, public safety, the medical professionals, the educators, right, when we serve them well, we're serving our citizens who work for our businesses. And so I think as an organization, as the South Cobb Business Association, the better we do that, the more impactful we'll become. And the more, again, our network spreads so that people can see us not only for the product and service that we provide, but also as a true partner to the community. So again, I'm excited about what the future holds for South Cobb Business Association. It's going to be great, and I think going deep is actually what's going to help us to make the most impact.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being a part of this podcast, for everything you've done for South Cobb Business Association this year and the years prior, and everything you do in our community. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. My pleasure. Thank you.
Everyone, thank you so much for listening to this podcast today. We have so many more podcasts coming out. Make sure that you subscribe. However you're listening, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything that we're releasing as part of the South Cobb Business Association podcast. Once again, thank you to Word of Faith and Riverside Epicenter, and thank you to our banner sponsors, Sweetwater Mission, Block Marketing, Georgia Power, Westside Bank, LGE, Wellstar, Capital City Bank, and the Mableton Improvement Coalition, and all those who are partnering with us to make sure that we keep South Cobb open for business. Since it's open for business, let's prosper together. Thank you again so much. See you next time.